No,
No?
sir. No,
What,
sir.
what's wrong with not being from? What's wrong with
Wait,
being from
I,
Huntsville?
I,
Man?
I lived in a border state. I'm new to the South. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you're a Yankee.
Yes, sir.
We're
Well,
gonna shut
Maryland.
you up.
Maryland. That's south of the
It's okay.
Mason-Dixie.
It's Huntsville. Everybody's from somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah, I've noticed this.
Most of the engineers are from somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely the old ones. They're usually from Germany. You know, that's fine. Anyway, he's new to the South, so, and I guess new to this stage, stand up.
Yep.
So everybody go easy on him, laugh, laugh, laugh. Let's give it up for Joel Elliott.
Thank you. And yeah, this is my first time at Partners, but it's a great crowd, and there's a lot of talent here. I'm very glad I came. David, you do real good crowd work. But I find it kind of funny. You ask, who's going through a bad divorce? Every stand-up comedian. It's just like, that's how you know you're a stand-up comic, if you're divorced from somebody. I mean, it's like, every one of them from the 80s, they were all divorced. But yeah, here we are, doing a resurgence of that movement. So I want to do some brutal honesty with you. Are you guys able to handle some brutal honesty? Let's get something straight before I launch into it here. Homelessness is not funny. It's hilarious. Let me tell you about my first week out. Okay, I've recently become homeless because of a divorce, and the first week, wow, holy crap, it was a little bit rough. I thought I was ready, like I got all equipped. I got the bike, I got the backpack, I'm like, packed with hygiene products, a couple changes of clothes. I'm ready. I'm doing this. And figured out where all the food is, and I'm ready. And then one night, a few nights in, I come out to where my backpack was, and it's been stolen. So my hobo pack is now just gone. And to give you a full sense of what that feels like, imagine if you go home tonight and not only has somebody like burglarized every item of your property in your home, but they also took your home and like the home itself and lifted it up, put it on a flatbed truck, drove away with it. Like you come home and it's just an empty lot. That's basically what it was like. Now, don't worry, don't let it bum you out. This is supposed to be a comedy show. We can all laugh. It's okay. But I replaced it. It's not a whole lot of stuff to replace. So I got the new backpack, and I'm guarding the thing with my life. I'm keeping it away from, local comedian Matthew Tate because I think he's using again, and I'm worried. He's going to try to sell my hobo pack for drugs. Matthew's a special man. So the hobo pack had my driver's license and my passport in it. So technically now I'm not Joel Elliott with 2 L's and 2 T's. Look me up on Twitter. I'm John Doe, the hobo of Huntsville, Alabama. And the other night I almost literally became John Doe because I was riding to the store to get a Cobb salad. I was excited about this Cobb salad. And I'm coming across an intersection. I've got the right of way, but this SUV just slams right into me. Okay, he slams into the back of my bike. I go skidding around. I turn my head and I discover that I think the guy was German because instead of saying stopping and saying "Are you okay, sir?" What he said was "Vroom." I mean, this dude was gone. He's like, this hobo is not going to sue me. Gone. So I just pop the chain back on and get going on my way. But the kicker about this guy, this SUV that slams into this hobo over here, he was coming out of a church service. It was like, church got out, and it's time to run over hobos. Let's do it. Like the United Methodist Church of the Hobo Massacre is apparently, I didn't really catch the name, I was a little dazed. But I continue down the road. I go to the grocery store, I get the Cobb salad. And in addition to open mics around town, whenever there's a PA system that I can get my hands on, I do it. So, I go to karaoke a lot. And I went out to karaoke. I'm paranoid about my hobo pack still, so I got that thing under the chair. And the whole night while I'm singing, I'm looking at my pack and I'm thinking, man, I'm going to love that Cobb salad when I get the chance to have it. But I can't just go out and have the Cobb salad because this is downtown, and if I have the salad when I wanted it, then a whole bunch of drunk kids are going to go spilling into my dining room. you know, and I don't know if you've ever had that happen to you. That's, that really ruins the Cobb salad experience. So I stick it out. I wait till last call, and then I go out and I start having my Cobb salad. But even though everybody was, going home, there was still like at least a dozen times I had to have the same conversation. I'm sitting there on a bench having my Cobb salad, and drunk kid comes up and goes, "Dude, what are you eating?" And I'm like, "Cobb salad." "Where'd you get that?" "Target." And then he just puts on this like, "Whatever, homeless dude." And that happened like 12 separate times. It was really kind of funny. And so when I'm done with Cobb salad, my schizo friend Sean shows up. I don't know if you guys have been around Huntsville enough to meet Sean, but there's a local transient named Sean. I knew him before hitting the skids, I grew up in Baltimore City, so I'm familiar with talking with homeless people. I was around them a lot. I've got a great sympathy for them. Now I have an empathy for them. But my schizo friend Sean, I call him that because he's schizophrenic, but he's a pleasant guy. So he is my schizo friend. Now when he sees me, since I'm like bumming around town, he just comes and sits down. We have a delightfully disordered conversation. Nothing that comes out of this man's mouth makes sense. He's completely schizophrenic. So since I know he is wandering around town all day, I ask him about a hobo pack. I'm like, "Hey Sean, I lost my backpack. Have you seen my backpack?" And what Sean, my schizo friend, says to me, and I quote, he says, no, man, I haven't seen your backpack, but my rifleman, he lost his cape, and his cape had a skull on the penis, and it made me impotent." It was like the most interesting thing that anybody said to me in several months. But like everything that comes out of his mouth is like that. If you run into Sean, he's gonna scare the crap out of you because he makes no sense and he's a live wire. But he's really a pleasant man. It'd be nice to my schizo friend Sean. Sean's not the only transient that I'm friends with, because we all know each other. It's a very small town, so it's a very small homeless community. And the backpacking storm, not the only theft that happened. In my first week out of homelessness, I was at a church service where they're having a barbecue afterwards. And I have one of those electronic cigarettes because it's more efficient, it's cheaper than buying cigarettes. And sustainability is kind of key in my current state. So I'm sitting down after the service and I'm eating my Bible burger. And when I finish my Bible burger, I get up to get a crispy treat for dessert. And the electronic cigarette, it must have just plopped out of my pocket, and one of the other hobos just snatched it up. So I discover that my electronic cigarette is gone, and I'm distraught. Because when you lose your drugs, it is just a horrible thing. I don't know, do they do drugs in Huntsville? In Baltimore, like 10% of us are on drugs. Yeah, they do drugs in Huntsville? Okay, that's good. So you know what I mean, then. When you lose your drugs, you're like, "Oh no, my drugs are gone." So what I did at that very moment is I hopped on my bike and I rode 5 miles to a camp where I know that there's a transient man that's friends with me and I know that he's got money. So I get there and I'm like, "Dude, Jethro, do me a solid, this stuff. Like somebody just took my electronic cigarette and, will you buy me a pack of cigarettes?" And, so the dude buys me a pack of cigarettes and, I'm feeling all right again. I'm like, thank God. And I'm riding away and I have a cigarette and then it occurs to me, I just begged for money from a man who begs for money for survival. So whatever one step below bum is, that's that's what I've achieved at that moment. It just, I don't know, it got way too meta at that point. My name again is Joel Elliott. It's 2 L's and 2 T's in Elliott. Look me up on Twitter. I would love that. This is an amazing town, and you guys have really been terrific tonight. I don't know really how you feel about me personally now that I've shared all these intimate details about my life, but I do have to say, Huntsville, Alabama, honestly, I love you.
Joel Elliott. Good job, bro.